Hey everybody, happy Sunday morning from snowy Richmond. We did get it's kind of like that smattering of snow, but not a whole lot of snow, which is awesome. But it's kind of icy on the trees and icy on the power lines, but nothing like, what they were telling us we were going to get. But, a nice day to kind of chill inside. I'm not going to drive downtown to my cat sitting job today. I left Miss Kitty plenty of food and water for a couple of days, so I will go and see her tomorrow. I am working on my version of Nik the Booksmith's Raggedies. Now, Nik does a lot of sewing on her Raggedies, and as you can tell, I've done a little bit of sewing here. I am not a sewer, so I thought I would kind of approach this as a loose leaf mixed media piece, and just kind of sit here and do a few of these. These are new additions to the journals that I'm doing right now, the 6x9 journals. I'll show you the cover of the one I'm working on right now. And you can see so this is the cover, and you can see my ultra raggedy-ish sewing here because I'm not really a sewer. But, I think that brings up a really good point that, I'm sorry, I've got my art rag in my hand for spills and, to wipe on. I really do believe in just doing it, like that Nike slogan, right? Just do it. And I, even if I don't know exactly how to do something, I am going to just give it a shot. And sewing is like that. Now, my mom and my grandma and my dad's mom all sewed, and I think that's that everybody sewed, my friends. I mean, that I was I'm a big fan of English history, and I was watching one of the BBC documentaries about how young girls were raised, and this particular, gosh, what is it? It's a Tudor farmhouse, I think it's called, and it is a great look at kind of things during the Tudor Reformation and that sort of thing. But anyway, young girls, I mean, they sewed. That was when the particular episode that I saw was around Christmas time. So everybody is like, they're making their own bricks to do some construction. They are making gifts, for each other, because we didn't go to stores and things like that back in those times. And the lady who is narrating, it's one of those like historical documentary things that I just love. She said that young girls were taught to sew, like, first thing. When you were 4 or 5 years old, you were taught to sew. And I think it's so interesting. And I have to tell you that when my little Russian niece came here 8 years ago, she could not read, but she was taught to sew in the orphanage, which I thought was just kind of fascinating. So I am, we're working with Mr. Edison here. Here is the cover of Mr. Edison. It is Edison, Teams with Information. Edison's handy encyclopedia, general information, and universal atlas. It is worth its weight in gold. I love it. It is chipping to pieces, so I am You know, we're saving Mr. Edison. We're also saving some Agatha Christie right here because, again, it's just, when I tear things out of here, it just chips to pieces. But look at that. You know, look at the patina, this yellow patina on here. Look at the patina of the pages. It's just like, It's just way too pretty to, you know, to not use. So, oh, what were we talking about? Oh, my niece, when she came here, she had sewing lessons, but she couldn't read. Now, that was in 2004. So you can see kind of how not to say that Russia hasn't progressed. Please don't get me wrong about that. It's just that, you know, different parts of the world accentuate different educational, you know, you know, what is important to one culture is not important to, you know, to another. And, you know, we've been talking about STEM, you know, science, technology, what is the science, technology, engineering, and math, you know, for students in the U.S. And it's like, you know, is that really important to a child in, you know, a third world country? You know, is it going to be more important for that child to learn to, you know, make a living or do STEM technology? Anyway, it's just like an interesting thing, right? It's an interesting thing to think about. So we were talking about, yeah, I can't sew. Don't know how to sew. It's not that I don't know how to sew. There's totally like a fear factor in there. So totally like a little fear factor. Right now I'm scared, you know, I'm not scared. I don't want to break my machine. There are no resources right now to try and get it to, you know, fix it, and it works just great. So knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. Uh-oh, that's probably gonna make Chris come up here. I wasn't thinking about that. Okay, so we are just sticking some stuff down, you know, just anything that's kind of interesting. I'm not worried about evening things up. I think that's what makes it interesting. I'm kind of trying to figure out, and you know, you can see that I've got loose leaf Lucy's on this box here. So anytime that I kind of run across something that I think, oh, you know, that's interesting, and you know, maybe something that is not going to fit into a flow pocket, then I just drop it in this box, you know, or it might be kind of not damaged in some way, but just like a chippy bit, right, that I don't really see like a major use for. That was the wrong thing to say, because there's always a use for everything. There really is. Okay, let's see. Let's finish this one up. I do want to put some fabric on here, so I've kind of chosen that, but that seems a little bold for this piece, so I think that I am going to... Uh-oh, scissors. Wow. See, that was a long time to work with no scissors, right? And now I don't really know where they are. I definitely don't know where my big ones are. Oh, there they are. Okay. So, we are going to use this, and then I think I'll put this on here as a pull tab for that. Kind of looks like a pen that Edison maybe would use, right? And, you know, typically, you know, that might look nice sewn, but I am just going to use some Mod Podge and stick it down. Just like that. There we go. That's nice, right? Alright, I'm going to stick those out of the way. I might just hand sew those onto here. I picked up this book about Alexandra and Nicholas and Alexandra when I was in Florence, and it was one of those, you know, the hotel books that had they had a bookshelf, and of course, you know, it was like one of the take a book, leave a book, which I left a book. I can't remember what I left over there, though. And so that's what I did. And, oh my goodness, and I chose the book because I had read it when it first came out. I'm very interested in Russian history. And, boy, but that book, man, it was chippy and old and awesome. And so I have used it for art things. If you don't know that story of Nicholas and Alexandra, it's just such a, you know, this is Alexei, and he was born with hemophilia. And Rasputin he was supposed to be a spiritual leader, but he was kind of not that. And he could cure, and I am using finger quotes here, he could cure Alexei when Alexei had an outbreak of hemophilia. It was just, it's an interesting story. But eventually it just really led to the downfall of that particular royal family. And, you know, it does not have a happy ending. Let's just leave it like that. I kind of like that, which is cool. I like that, but I feel like it, you know, I do have these little metal things that I'm working with too. Okay, let's just go ahead and go with that, and I will glue that down. I think I've had to pull this off of something else. So what are you guys doing today? What are you working on? How's your weather? Are you having sun? I don't think we're going to have sun till it's going to be a while. Okay, I need to go ahead and put this on here. And I think instead of sewing it, I am going to staple it with just a regular staple, because that works. And I'm not going to take anything to the sewing machine. And I love my 1995 Swingline stapler. I think it's so cool. Look at it. Isn't that neat? And look at this. Isn't that cool? Got a staple remover right there. And staples go right here. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but like you can load in extra staples right here. I just love it. I don't have a tiny attacher, but I do have me a stapler. All right, I'm going to staple that right there. That still leaves me kind of a blank space right there, but I kind of got an idea for it. I hope you guys enjoy these, you know, in the new journals. Just kind of an extra added fun thing. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, let's get the thingy over here. Okay. And let's punch a hole. I'm going to put that right there. This is, I went through years of my crafting life not having a crocodile. And, you know, after listening to Jenny Belly talk about it for years, I finally found like a good deal on a crocodile, and snagged that puppy up. And oh my goodness, I totally love it. I love it. Okay, great use for these wee little, wow, I think that one's glued together, friends. Okay, choose another. Or these wee little brads. Oh, there's one right there. And I don't have a very big brad collection, because I don't want a big brad collection. I don't want stuff. You know, everything that I do is petite and small. And then that way I don't have a lot of stuffs running around the place. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and get that off there. I have these cool holes that I could, you know, probably do something with, but I don't know what to do with it right now. All right, let's do, I'm going to let the surface of this dry. And then, I wanted to do one more thing. That's right. I had some modeling paste here, so I thought that I would, I have some modeling paste and some tiny stencils. I'm sorry this is kind of off the cuff, y'all. I did kind of plan, but you know me, not real good, but okay. And I'm just gonna, I wanted to do a wee bit, not much, and maybe just a tiny bit of, see, I love circles, but I feel like I kind of overdo it with them. But let's just do let's do 4 right there. There we go. Yeah, that looks cool, doesn't it? Right here. These are so much fun, you know, and you use just small bits. And honestly, I mean, it would be really neat to you could use this stuff in like in a flow pocket, right? You know, the small chippy bits that you have to build your loose leaf collages with. All right, let's do another. I cannot find my little sorry, my what I started with. Oh my goodness, where did they go? Okay. Well, I had them right here. Oh, there they are. They're hiding. All right, so I've got these, and this is what I'm using for this. It was just an altered address book, and these were the dividers, you know, the ABC dividers, the alphabet dividers that, you know, had the little tag on them like that, and they really do work great for building collages on, you know, because it's just the right weight. Now these are a whole lot lighter, so let's just start kind of, let's see what I got down here, what I have down here. That's okay, but that's kind of a big image. I like these chippy bits. I don't know. I think that these were made, these are, I know what they are, Farmer's Almanacs. So we'll just do, you know, not the whole thing, but then you got to be really careful as you're tearing these because they're so chippy. Of interest to women, of interest to all, a grapefruit diet. I don't know what year this is, but it's pretty. Okay, let's get this down. Like this. Again, you know, you don't have to be, don't line anything up. Not. Just a suggestion. Not don't, but, you know, it's usually a whole lot easier if you don't line things up and just kind of slap them down on the page. You get a much better result. I kind of like that green right there, so I'm going to kind of lift that up and get a bit of this pretty, like, what is that? Is that a basket weave? I don't know what it is. I don't know my patterns, or I don't know my patterns. I don't know my colors. I don't know how to sew. Oh, Lord. It's okay though, isn't it? Give it that here. I'm digging that like pop of green. Got a little bit of this as well. Oh, hey. And I'm sorry I'm bumping the camera. I didn't realize I was even doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having too much fun. Let's do the beetle paper right here. Oh, I'm so sorry I was bumping y'all. I love that beetle paper. That's from New Zealand. Now, won't these things just be fun? You know, in your journal? Something to read and be inspired by? Uh-oh, that was like a double piece of that. Oops. There we go. And I kind of sort of begging for something like that. I need a piece of paper or fabric or something under here. That's good, right? Oh man, it's so good to use a chippy bit because you know, what else are you gonna do with them? Yeah, they're just so chippy and so beautiful, you know. Oh, it's just so pretty. That patina is just, what color is that? The color is crazy beautiful. All right, and then I think we'll use that. That's just a Tim Holtz piece. I really like it. Kind of goes along with the, this one says of interest to women. So we'll put a little something down there. There we go. Nido Frito. And I got that little bit right there. Like the fabric. What you think? I am thinking I might just hit that with, instead of putting, I'm looking. Ooh, there we go. I kind of like the way that's looking, you know, that, I like using this, you know, as something that would just generally just, I mean, most people would put it in the trash. Obviously, I didn't. I'm going to tear it right here. I don't want to disturb that of interest to women. I got to make sure I don't do that. You know, you can always, guys, as you're working, kind of just dump that onto the back, and then you've got another layer, right? Like that. You know, I think what I'm going to do, because I'm scared I'm going to want to cut that off. And this will remind me not to cut it off. I'm just going to put that right there. Okay. All right. Now I got to remember that's wet on the back. Okay, that's a good start on that one. Okay. What time is it? Oh, we only got 5 minutes left. I'm going to set that one up there. I'm really liking Alexi. I think he turned out really nicely. Oh gosh, I put him down in my modeling paste. Oh well. Let's put him over here for a second so I don't do that again. One more. Let's do one more. Just loads of fun here. And when you cut these, you guys, you don't want them to be the size of your journal, you know, that you're working on. You want them to be, you want them to, it's like a loose leaf paper, right? It's like a piece of loose leaf notebook paper that you just kind of stick into something. Okay, so, you know, if you're playing with these, you don't want to make them neat. go. Look at that. Cigarettes, 15 cents a pack. An improved roller makes 20 filter tip, plain, king, or regular for 15 cents. Green River Tobacco, box 940, Owensboro, Kentucky. That's interesting, isn't it? I'll go ahead and take this off here. It's super sticky. This one says music and records. Let's put that right there for a second. I'd like to use some of these. This is a 1909 envelope. That's so beautiful. Let's just go ahead and get the date on there, and get the whole thing on there. And, you know, I mean, if I'm kind of clever about this, we can use it as a little tuck spot right there. I don't know. Let's just see what works. And I love that blue as well. Sorry about the camera. I am hoping to try and improve a lot of my tech stuff eventually. Okay, let's put that here. I want to be sure I get that. Okay, there we go. That's kind of cool. All right, I got to remember to leave that open, so I think I'll stick that in there. Yeah, that would be kind of neat because you got a little secret spot right there. Woo, it's getting really cold. I'm gonna have to stop and turn the heater back on. Let's see, what's neat right there. Okay, that's an old-fashioned printing press, and I really do like that. The fabric element, I think I'll just put that there. That's an interesting, you know, small piece with the pens. Kind of goes with, I think I'm going to do a bigger, yeah, bigger thing right here. There we go. And I'll use some glue to put this down. And if, you know, I mean, you can always go back and play with things, and I have to go, I have to complete the back of these as well, of course. And I'll probably just leave this one big like this. I don't want to trim this envelope or anything like that. And since I need to use the rest of this, I need to use the rest of this molding paste right quick. Oh my gosh, I don't usually work so messy, y'all. I apologize. Gee whiz, what a wreck. There we go. Okay, all right, you guys. I hope that you will make some mixed media, loose leaf little loose leaf loosies for your journals. And like I said, they'll be going in. Thank you, Nik the Booksmith, for your incredible inspiration. These will be going in my new journals, so just kind of keep a watch at the shop, and I'll put a link to my Etsy shop below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care. Have a great day.